Winston Wave. What an enigmatic person. He believes through combat a person finds themselves. Never-ending waves of enemies will try to destroy you until you are no more, and the only way to stop them? Give up and never try again? But how? How do you find yourself if you always lose? Aren't victories the way we measure that we made progress? At first, I didn't see what Winston was trying to teach me. I had 3 encounters the old veteran, from each I learned a little. Let me tell you about them. Chapter 1. Complete Embarrassment. This is proof that no great inventor, athlete or warrior starts good at what he does. The first encounter was a wash. I underestimated the biggest enemy out there. Nature. The greatest armies in the history of mankind were defeated by the cold, and I was no different. So I licked my wounds and tried again. Chapter 2. Overconfidence, a slow and insidious killer. With my gun loaded, I started building my base around my resources. I had to move fast to beat the cold. With a lit fire, I could take a breath and think about my next move. How will I defend against Winston? A simple bet. This was hopeful. I didn't even know how much time I would spend in it. Sad reality is, animal or person, everything that walks on this ice sheet is food. No one said surviving is going to be pretty. With the components I had on me, I was able to start building the necessary infrastructure to survive. I just hoped I could protect it. If it went down, so would I. I saw an opportunity. I could summon the wave early and get some extra rewards. As long as I wasn't greedy and knew how strong I was, it could be a good way to get some extra resources early. I still remember how well that rifle shot. We were like one. No bullet was wasted. After the would-be attackers were dispatched, it was time to collect my reward. And from that point forward, there was no going back. No giving up. I had to endure what Winston was about to throw my way. Relentless attacks with little breaks in between, and now, I had a friend. More or less forced to help me, but no hard feelings. That old saying, there is blood on the sand. By the time I will be done with Winston's forces, this snowfield will be painted red. I sure is getting cocky. What can he throw my way to even scare me slightly? This amused me a lot. Some bloke dressed like a nun joined. I didn't think he would survive long here, but the will to survive is strong in humans, so I might get proven wrong. The little barricade, I still remember it. It barely blocked anything, but it gave us confidence. With every win I felt more and more confident. There's no match for my skills and that of my allies. The rewards were getting better and better. The base was shit, but we didn't have time for it, because I had to show Winston who is in charge around here. Finally, some challenge from the old man, I thought. Did I realize what they were doing? They just stole my stuff and left. I was being mocked by Grandpa. Now I had to move everything inside. Was he just toying with me? I didn't get it. I at least felt better when I saw some mechanoids being sent my way. They of course were no match for me, but it didn't die as fast. It also didn't steal my stuff. As Wave 13 was approaching, I made the fatal error. Just like every soon-to-be dead henchman in an action movie, I forgot to check if I had bullets. Just as my ego had rapidly grown with the easy wins, it had a total ego death as me and my comrades fell to the ground dead. But this was not my destiny. So I got back up, with barely anything to my name, and I called for Winston one more time. I looked him dead in his eyes and told him to do his worst. I could see him grin from a mile away. What pleasure did this psycho get from this? But I wasn't going to find out, because this time I would win. Chapter 3. The friends we made along the way. As I landed back on the planet with all my new knowledge, I felt a fire burning in my belly. Let's get revenge. This time I was more patient. I got everything sorted before I called in the first wave, and when I did, it was time with a few wandering merchants that conveniently died and left me all their loot. Oops, totally didn't mean to. I told you this story would have cannibalism. You might think it's a sick thing to do, but I bet you the second things get hard, you might look at your neighbor and think about how tasty he is. And with my last bullets, I scared them off. Never panic in the face of danger. Bluff them. The stupid ones will believe you. Birdie made such a good bait that fight. You have to know the strengths of your colonists and use them to your advantage, even if it puts them in danger. As soon as I saw the delay for 15 days, I knew this was the run. I started making preparations for the base to make it a true fortress. As I waited for the attacks to resume, I contemplated what I was doing there. What is the point of me doing any of this? Besides proving a crazy old man wrong. I didn't understand yet, but without knowing, I was getting close. I got greedy and tried to complete a quest for the Empire, but it caught me and Birdie out on the field. This was about to get ugly. And ugly it was. Even though we won, Birdie laid down her life for me. A stranger saved my life, when all I did was use her. After I returned to the base, I was never the same. But there was no time to mourn as a gigantic army of raiders circled our base. We were outnumbered 1 to 4. May God take care of my sinner soul. I don't know if we'll make it. Fate would have it that none of us died, but barely. I would call it a miracle. But it wasn't. It was my team and I that did it. Together. With each attack our base was getting ravaged and our bodies weaker. But our faith grew stronger with each near-death encounter. We knew we could count on each other to have our back and to give our life. After having to defend as only 3, we get a breather until the next wave. God, I couldn't wait to lie down. Too bad we barely had any electricity and there was minus 60 degrees inside. When one of us gets up, another falls down. This truly was an exercise in trust. I could have shot raiders all day, but thanks. That was not what I expected. Seems the old man really wanted to end this. As we were getting bombarded inside the base, Haruka made a last-ditch effort and rushed the tanks. We were left in awe to see him cut them to pieces. Every single one. That was the true warrior spirit in action. Never seen anything like that before. But alas, it wasn't enough. Wave by wave, we started falling. As the last wave approached, bleeding and shivering, I looked at Gezin, hugged my friend for one last time, and waited for it to be over. It all ended with a fiery explosion. But surprisingly, I was still breathing. So was Gezin. As the air cleared around, I could see the entire base destroyed. No enemies around, and a strange sense of victory was in the air. When I looked in the distance, I saw old man Winston, smiling. "When you want to go again, let me know," he said. "What are you waiting for? Send them in. Me and Gezin survived worse," I told the bastard. That was the answer I was waiting for. And in an instant, he disappeared. Chapter 4. Bedtime. God, I hate people who act so smart when they try to teach you something, but it worked. I was never the same after that day. I learned to never underestimate my enemy, to never give up in the face of defeat, and to rely on others, because I can't do it all myself. And so kids, that was the story of my encounters with Winston Waves. Off to sleep with you. It's late.